Hello, divine souls. Have you ever paused and asked yourself a deep question? If the divine is pure peace, if the source of existence is infinite consciousness, then why does the world contain so much of duality? There is so much of contrast. Why there is light and darkness, creation and destruction happening simultaneously? There is joy and suffering that is seen all around us. Why there is love and fear? There is love and hate. Why would a loving universe allow such an intense contrast difference? Many spiritual traditions speak about this mystery, but through the perspective of Behad Gyan, as revealed by Bapuji, this divine knowledge that has been revealed by Bapuji, Dashrathbhai Patel, we are offered a much deeper understanding. According to this knowledge, duality is not a mistake of creation. It is a part of a vast cosmic design, a design that allows the soul to evolve, experience karma, and eventually return to its original state of pure consciousness and infinite peace. Today we will explore why duality exists, why souls enter this physical world, how illusion and karma operate, and how we can transcend the illusion of separation. It is commonly understood that as dark and light is the play of yin and yang, but we forget that yin and yang is a part of a bigger setup that is by the creation itself, and that is all light. Because once we understand the purpose of duality, our relationship with life completely changes. So, what was the original state of existence before creation existed? Before galaxies, stars, universes, planets were formed, there was only pure consciousness. This has been accepted by most philosophies, whether from the West, from the East. It's all very much relatable. In Behad Gyan, this original state lies beyond multiverse. It is beyond multiverses. It is beyond comprehension, that we all agree, because we are unable to identify, because there is so much of information out there to confuse us. But for understanding, if person has not experienced certain states of consciousness, one can relate to, yes, it is beyond comprehension. It is a state where there is no matter, no time, no division, no conflict. It is a state of absolute stillness and harmony. This state is described as Param 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 Mahashanti. It means supreme peace. Param is a word that means supreme. As many times you can add supreme to it, and then there is peace, highest form of supreme, infinite supreme peace. In this state, souls exist in their true form or pure awareness. There is no suffering, no fear, no ego, only deep peace and divine presence. So, according to Behad Gyan, as explained by Bapuji, he has revealed this through his divine insight and vision, through his deep practices of meditation. He has also written a book called Life in Multiverse. I highly recommend, if you have not read it, it's freely available on Google. You can Google and download a PDF. It is available on YouTube as an audiobook. It's very important that every spiritual seeker must go through that book. I have an overview on the various chapters on my channel, Soul Journey-CA. You're welcome to have a look through it, but it does not replace the book in any way. According to Bapuji, the creation unfolds across vast levels of cosmic existence. These levels will include the celestial systems, like multiple multiverses, multiple universes, galaxies, and then comes the solar system. Each level of creation allows consciousness to experience itself through form. Matter emerges, energy condenses, life appears. But the moment the physical world comes into existence, it is of three elements. Originally, consciousness was pure supreme element itself. Gradually, as and when the manifestation or the process of creation began, it came to three elements. And these three elements were also supreme elements. But these three elements further deteriorated because of, again, constant thoughts, manifestations, and now we are on this planet in a five elemental body. So, the moment the physical world comes into existence, duality appears. This is because the physical universe operates through polarities, day and night, birth and death, creation and destruction, pleasure and pain, knowledge and ignorance. It's like creation and destruction happening simultaneously. These opposites create dynamic movement of existence because they are just happening one after the other. Without polarity, the physical world could not function. But the deeper question is, why would consciousness create such a system in the first place? Once Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel ji was questioned by his son Anandbhai Patel that why does this happen? Why does consciousness even start? Why did it begin to create? So there is no definitive answer to that. This is because it just wanted, that is the nature. It seems very simple, and yet when we go deep into it, we explore oneness within duality. So duality exists because the physical world is a field of experiences. It's fluid, it's filled with experience. Without contrast, experience cannot happen. Where there is darkness, there is going to be light. So we also often say that bring in more light to clear the dark. But that if you are not able to see the dark, doesn't mean it's not there. It is there, it is just there. That's how you're experiencing the light. Think about it for a moment. You cannot recognize light unless you have seen darkness. You cannot understand peace unless you have felt that disturbance, that turbulence. You cannot recognize truth without encountering an illusion or maybe some form of lies or some kind of fakeness, some kind of distortion. Duality creates a mirror. And in this mirror, consciousness begins to recognize itself. And this also answers one question that you cannot truly see. You can't visually see with your own eyes this consciousness. You can't do that because it is an experience that it is going through an experience. Through the experience of life, soul slowly begins to ask deeper questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What is the purpose of my existence? So there are many discussions that happen around this topic. And the question remains that why does one has to come into this life of existence altogether? So it is often through struggle, confusion, and searching, soul searching, that the soul awakens. And this is the time it wants to go in deeper and question every aspect. The soul often begins its awakening through the experience of duality. Just as the seed must break open in darkness before it grows towards light. In this sense, duality is not an enemy, it is a teacher. And yet, I will again say, yet there is oneness, because there is one consciousness. Different philosophies address consciousness in different terms. Vedanta calls this consciousness as Atma, and Many others will simply call it as creation itself, the root of creation. However, duality becomes suffering when the soul forgets its true nature. And that is why it is also very important to awaken ourselves up, looking at the situation of the world, the crisis, the turbulent situation all over, global situation. It's imperative that we all work towards awakening our own self, understanding the truth. We have forgotten our true nature. And this forgetfulness, this forgetting is a veil, it's a Maya, it's illusion. Maya is the veil of illusion that makes the soul believe, I am this body, I'm separate from others, I must compete, control, and protect. And this is how fear is generated, whereas the truth is totally the opposite. People who are meditating and people who are in a state of higher frequency and vibration, they realized that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I'm not these thoughts. So it's only about understanding and relating and experiencing that truth within. And that is why work on the soul self, inner self is very important. How to create that situation, that those thoughts in your mind, to understand and see the perspective. What is the truth? A soul identifies completely with the physical body and ego. This cycle will begin. Fear will appear, attachment will grow, judgment will come. And when judgment is there, there is discrimination. And there is separation. More and more separation happens. And soul becomes trapped in repeating patterns of karma. And karma is what, in my understanding, what I've understood so far after listening to people and sages, that karma is more like a matrix. It keeps you trapped. How do you need to break away from that? You can break through the shackles of karma. So instead of living in awareness, we begin reacting unconsciously to the circumstances when we are trapped in this veil of illusion, because it will not let you see the light. It covers the light. The matrix hides everything that is light. But this veil of illusion is not permanent. Like I said, this matrix can be destroyed. It is up to your own agreement with your own self. It is your own inner calling. It is your awakening from within. And that inner work is required. It exists only because the soul has forgotten its true identity. And once the knowledge awakens, I repeat, it is knowledge. It is not a mystical concept. It's not magical. You must understand the process, what's happening. Read more, learn more. Like Bapuji has given so much of information, Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel. He has given lectures on, he's made drawings explaining how the energy system works. And once this knowledge, true Gyan, awakens, the illusion will begin to dissolve. So in the physical world, every thought, every word and action carries a vibrational energy. This energy itself creates karma. Over time, karma forms an energetic web around individuals and around humanity itself. And this web has a weight, and this karmic web also creates density of the physical world because it has also got weight with it. That is why the world sometimes appears heavy with conflict, suffering, and confusion. But even this density is serving a purpose because it gives the soul an opportunity to transform through awareness and understanding, through knowledge, through spiritual practice. At this point of time, when you are now listening to my video, it is very important to start the inner work, start reflecting, start where you are. Start your spiritual practice, go within, reflect within, and connect with the ultimate source of all consciousness. So the soul can begin to transform karmic patterns into wisdom and compassion. In this way, duality becomes the field where consciousness evolves. And one thing here I want to explain is that with limited knowledge, there is not much room that you're allowing yourself to grow. If you are living in a world in a spiral of one thing after the other and you are not able to tangent exit out of that cycle, it's going to be very hard. You'll be a limited soul. But the truth is, a soul is not limited. It is unlimited. The body is within a soul. Soul is far bigger, very expansive, and knows the truth. So connecting with your higher self, the soul consciousness, is very, very important. True knowledge is the only way you can recognize what kind of soul you are. If you go through the book Life in Multiverse, once again, I'm repeating the book Life in Multiverse because it has so much of knowledge which I have not seen anywhere else. So knowledge is the only identity that helps you to recognize the power of your own soul. There is no other way that you only are the judge of your own capacity. Anybody else who is judging you from outside is affecting your energy field, but he cannot truly judge who you really are. Here I want to add something, that knowledge is the only identity to recognize the power of a soul, the true knowledge, and also to realize what category does the soul belong to, what is the capacity of that soul. Every soul can go only to the level of its own creator. There are different creators for different souls, and there is a hierarchy pattern that is happening in the entire cosmic architecture. So at each level there is a creator. So this is very deep and profound knowledge. One must go deeper into this truth to find a little bit more about yourself, little bit more, one day a little deeper. So the limited souls, or these souls are also known as Had ki Atma. Atma is soul and Had means limited. These souls are always entangled with the worldly affairs. They cannot exit out because they are always in a trap of illusion. They do not want to gain more knowledge. Either they do not have the time for it, or they are not interested. They are happy in their pleasures and life is going good and smooth for them. And that is their existence, and that is the limited existence they are living. But then there are other souls that are striving for more and more spiritual knowledge, know more about their own soul self. These kind of souls are known as Behad ki Atma, means the unlimited souls, the infinite souls of infinite capacity. And these souls are focused on self-transformation and world transformation and beyond. Because what is happening, the situation on ground level, that is the earth level, is not a creation of the earthly level. It's not a creation of only humankind. It is happening, it started at the subtle level, beyond the earthly realm. And then it has been forced. These circumstances have been brought onto the planet Earth to create this kind of confusion. And it's a kind of battle between the good and the bad. One can broadly speak. It's a battle of power control. And yet, it is the time for change, to bring in more light and evolve to a higher level of consciousness, raise the planetary vibrations, making a world of peace and happiness. Bapuji says this world will become, at one time, be transformed into a world of immortality. Immortality is a world of knowingness, where you know everything what's happening. So what is the higher purpose? I just shared a little bit about it, but what basically is the higher purpose of duality? From the perspective of Behad Gyan, as explained by Bapuji, I relate to him because a lot of concepts have been cleared through his divine visions. He has given a breakup of the fundamental way of existence that was and that is, that will remain. So duality is a training ground of consciousness. It helps you to experience. It allows the soul to experience ignorance and knowledge, attachment and freedom, fear and courage. Through these experiences, the soul gradually learns. The friction of the physical world pushes the soul towards awakening. Awakening from within, that realization must come from within. You read, you learn, you listen to other people, you listen to other spiritual masters and teachers. See what you are able to relate to. What is it telling you? Often people begin their spiritual search after experiencing a lot of pain, difficulty, loss, confusion. Moments that seem painful can become turning points because these situations happen because, like I have also shared in my previous video on karmic patterns, the stories will repeat till you have not learnt your lesson. So these stories and these painful situations are there in your life to tell you to seek within, see what's going wrong and what you need to check. They become your teachers and they lead the soul towards deeper truth, means because that you are seeking truth from within. Just as pressure transforms carbon into a diamond, the challenges of life can transform the soul into a being of greater awareness and compassion. And this itself is divinity. This is the truth of divinity. It, not that it is devoid of any pain or joy, but it encompasses everything and it brings that awareness. And then your soul is able to observe the truth, is able to witness the truth. In this way, duality becomes a catalyst for your own spiritual growth. When you practice your spiritual work, whatever path you are on, you have to evaluate that. Is it showing you something? Is it explaining? Is it unveiling the truth for you? So choose your path very carefully. I will not comment on what is right and what is wrong, because everyone decides at their own level and capacity of understanding where they are and what they want to follow. So when the soul begins to remember the true nature, this remembrance is called soul consciousness, soul awakening. And when we shift from body consciousness to soul awareness, our perception will change. We begin to observe life rather than react to it. Fear loses its power, judgment dissolves, ego softens, and we begin to experience a deeper state of peace from within. In this state, the polarities of the world no longer dominate our consciousness. But you have to do the work. You have to consciously work. Dedicate time to your reading, towards your meditative practices, towards your food, towards you need to put a check, a barrier post on your thoughts that this is right, this is wrong. You have to evaluate for your own self. And when we begin to experience a deeper state of peace within, then the polarities of the world will have no impact on us. They will not dominate our thoughts and consciousness. Instead, we will begin to anchor in higher vibrations of peace and awareness. You might even distance from people who are not up to your, you don't match with your vibrations, or people who think differently. And your peace and awareness into this physical world will exactly tell you where you need to be. Through this transformation, the soul gradually moves beyond the illusion of separation. So the final realization can be profound. Duality was never the ultimate reality. This duality was actually probably a cosmic classroom. One can say that, because we do not have the capacity to understand the cosmic scale of architecture. It is a sacred play through which consciousness explores itself. Through countless experiences, the soul eventually remembers its true origin. And it doesn't happen just like that. People who have done years and probably spent many births, many lifetimes in understanding this truth may have a sudden awakening. They might suddenly have some kind of a download. This is different. This is something that I didn't know before. But most of us must very actively seek information, must actively seek true knowledge to do this profound work. So this is a sacred play through which consciousness will continue to explore itself through countless experiences. And experiences can be good and bad, as we discussed. These experiences will take you beyond the physical world of simple perception. They'll be more deeper. You can feel them. And these worlds are beyond the cosmic architecture, cosmic expansive flow that we see visually on the screen. You will be able to perceive the depth once you are fully aware. And at this point, the soul is returning to its original state of infinite peace. This state is supreme peace, or the state of Param Param Param, Mahashanti, means supreme or infinite peace, supreme peace. So next time you encounter any difficult situation, a dark situation or struggle in life, remember this: duality is not a punishment. It is not why me. It is a part of your divine design to awaken, to get into the state of being aware now. Every challenge contains the seed of deeper awareness. Every moment of reflection brings the soul closer to its true nature. And the mantra that Bapuji has given to us is Behad ki Param Param Param, Mahashanti hai, Mahashanti hai, Mahashanti hai. This is a very important mantra. In a nutshell, it means may infinite peace prevail. And in this time of global turmoil and difficult moments when everyone is at war with oneself and with others, there are a few souls that are working towards peace and awakening of the entire humanity. Bring out that infinite power from within and realize that infinite peace. So may infinite peace prevail on this planet and the entire cosmos. Thank you. We will meet again. Dear viewers, if you are liking my videos, please do share and subscribe to my channel. This will help us grow and reach out to a wider audience across the globe, spreading peace and harmony. Thank you. Thank you very much.